Hey Alyssa, how's it going? Let's take a look at your work this week. I've been playing through it. I saw your note. Oops. I saw your note that that's as far as you got, and that you have updated the lip sync. I'll just focus on the body stuff and some of the changes that I see. I'll talk about the kid running in to start. It feels. Mom, wait. I like how it feels faster and then it slows down. I think that's great. Mom, I feel like I need a little bit more like up and down on it. Like maybe if I see that we have like a down and up here and a down there, that feels successful to me. That's really good. But I feel like we need maybe like a down around here. So I'd like to see that we get some kind of like idea of the stepping here. And then also to kind of like to slow down. We have a very similar kind of angle here on the torso from like the run to the stop. So maybe, maybe we don't have to lean it back like super extreme, but it may be a little nice to help sell like the mechanics of it, kind of leaning back to like slow ourselves down just a little bit. I don't want to like get in the way of your progress or anything though. And it's not exactly like the most important thing to be focusing your time on now, but I figured I should speak on it.
Mom, wait. I told you before. Mom, wait.
Cool. This like little hand gesture where it's like open and it closes feels a little bit like it feels like a weak grab or a weak, I don't know, there's something about it that feels a little odd right now.
Mom, wait. I told you.
So I'm not sure I would have the open hand part here. You could have it open here and then, but I feel like I'm seeing that little hand gesture and it's hard for me to know
Mom, wait.
What it is. Anyways.
Mom, wait. I told you before.
Okay. Moving forward.
I told you before. I don't want these. I don't want these. I don't want these.
I don't know if you worked on her turn.
I don't want.
I think it's working pretty well. I feel like maybe there's some up and down in it that wasn't there before. I like this down a lot. I think during the turn we need to have like a little bit more of an up than where she settles here. Maybe, like this turns into a down and then we'll really feel like the stepping that's happening under that dress.
I don't want these things before.
Yeah, small suggestion. Otherwise,
I don't want.
I like how she's leading with her head, and you see the comic book dropping here, and the hand, the screen left arm is like dragging on the turn. That's all really nice stuff. It feels like really mechanically well resolved. It's a small note, but here on the comic book, I feel like I get that we're dragging that edge, and that's great. But it feels like it slowly splines between this opposite shape here, and maybe we save this opposite shape for a drag when the comic book is being moved in the other direction here. So I think it's the right idea that it kind of relaxes a little, but maybe just like freeze it here for a little bit, so it's not like always moving throughout this section, but maybe that's something you already know. So moving forward.
I don't want these things in our home. Mom!
That's really nice, the mom's animation.
I don't want these things in our home.
Maybe when she comes forward here, there's a way to break up the head, the neck, and the torso, which feels all kind of like locked right now. So it's either like when I feel that in my own work, when I feel that things are locked, I know I either have to drag or lead with something. So maybe here my suggestion would be like lead with the neck a little bit, you know, like maybe from this frame forward, just start like leading with the neck and head just a little bit into this move. I don't think it has to be huge, and I don't want it to be like disrupting your performance or anything, but it may really help kind of like break up that chain, that like torso chain. I really like this little lift up that you have on the head here. That's great. So something that's unfortunate is like the kid's hand is going through the comic book, and even if it weren't, it would feel like weird tangenting, like maybe the kid was grabbing for the comic book, which isn't what we're trying to say. So I wonder if there's a way to kind of do this same gesture, and I'm just guessing where the upper arm is behind the torso, but instead of the upper arm being like this, maybe there's a way kind of to do a similar gesture with the upper arm back more, so the hand doesn't stick out quite as far to like penetrate with the comic book or anything like that. Just an idea of a way to kind of resolve that, but I think that's something that you should try to resolve. I would delay the kid's head dropping like this a little bit because it feels almost like it's perfectly in lockstep with the comic book. I would just delay it so it's like dropping after the comic book, so it feels like it takes a beat for the kid to follow that. Also, when the kid says mom here, pay attention to the eye line. I think maybe it definitely feels low to me. So when I say I think maybe, what I mean to say is it definitely feels low to me. I would keep this eye contact going there. So I like the kid looking at the book here. I think that's great. But I would wait till she like lowers it. Yeah, like I said. Then have the kid's head and eyes look down at the book. And then the kid looks back up.
Mom, don't make a big deal out of this.
Yeah, that's great.
Mom!
I don't.
Cool. It's really strong work. I think it's good stuff. Let's keep moving forward.
Mom, don't make a big deal out of this.
Don't.
It's a lot of nice
Mom, don't make a big deal out of this.
eye mask work being done here, but I feel like maybe... Ooh, what happened? Okay. Sorry, give me a second. Alright, cool. I think I accidentally must have reloaded it. So talking about this section here. The brows are like really busy through this section, so I think it would be best to like simplify them. Because here they go down on the blink, and I think that that's the right call. They might be going down, nah, that's fine. They go back up into this, which is great, but then they come down again, go up again, and then they come down again. So I think maybe there's just areas to simplify it and not have to do so much. I know I was saying like the brows should support the blinks, but I think that this is, it almost feels like an expression change than just a slight compression or whatever. So maybe I would stay more in this range before going down and coming back up. And then here, it's a little disjointed. So I feel like it's like the brows come down a lot before, like the lids are this. Okay, so how do I describe this? So you kind of have like this area and this area and the brows, right? And it feels like the brows really precede all that stuff coming down, and then that stuff comes down afterwards. And I think that needs to feel a little bit more tied together. So you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be simultaneously, but it should be like, it should feel more part of the same unit. So if this comes down, it just comes down a little bit before this one starts coming down, and all this stuff is like locked together. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I feel like right now it's just a little bit too much like brows, and then the other two parts go down later. So I would tie it together. So yeah, throughout this section I would simplify her brows and not make them move as far. But I feel like the ideas are correct and everything in there is right. I think it just needs a little massaging. All right, moving on to the next section. Oops, let me turn the sound back on.
Speak to me with that attitude.
Yeah, I think all that's
Don't
working.
speak to me with that attitude.
That's great. So I'm gonna cut it here. I know it's got some dead frames.
Don't speak to me with that attitude.
You cleaned up
Don't speak to me with
that
that
quick
attitude.
head move,
Don't
which is
speak
great.
to me with that attitude.
This.
Don't speak to me with that attitude.
This.
Okay, cool. Let me see.
Make a big deal out of this.
Don't speak to me.
All right, so what I would do with this kid is when you say, don't make a big deal out of this, when they're done, I would have them start to like pull out of this extreme just a little bit, right? It doesn't have to be a huge adjustment, but just a tiny adjustment so that they're not like in their most extreme angle. And then that'll make it when you pull back here. I would also start this move with the head and neck first, you know, come back like this. You know, I know that not everything here is like, I think you're already coming back with the head and neck maybe a little bit, but I would push that a little bit more sooner. And then I would also straighten out the arms a little bit on this retreat to make them feel like they're not just locked in this one kind of position.
Deal out of this.
Don't speak to me with that attitude.
Make a big deal out of this.
Don't speak to me with that attitude.
Make a big deal out of this.
Don't speak to me.
And I think it would be okay too
Deal out of this.
when the mom says don't, to like kind of hit in here. And you don't have to hold it long, but maybe get into something a little bit more angry. At least a little bit of a change from where she was before when the kid was speaking to the beginning of that sentence.
Don't make a big deal out of this.
So here it's like she's drifting from this kind of like I'm trying to be compassionate thing
Don't make a big deal out
into
of
this
this.
kind of angry thing. And so instead of that being a drift, I would just kind of leave her more where she ended. And that way when she starts her line, like here, she'll still be kind of like brows move pretty quick. They don't like drift from one expression to another. They kind of more will like start in one expression and then kind of jump to something else and hold there, and then they'll jump to something else and hold there. So like that's not always true, but rarely, like if I had to go from this frame, let's say this is frame 1 to frame 24, I wouldn't just like smoothly in between this, you know what I mean? I would instead have this go from frame 1, this is frame like 4, and maybe have it hold there until frame 6, and then have frame 6 jump here to like frame 12, and then maybe hit the extreme by like 14 or something like that, you know what I mean? Like I would break up the timing to get from one pose to the next with like quicker movement and like really shorter ease ins and ease out. I would hold her brows in this pose. I really like the brows here in this pose and I wouldn't drop them until toed. I would like drop them here into this expression that you have, which looks not happy but not super mad, or you know, I feel like that's a great expression. But I would just hold them a little bit longer in this arch. But yeah, that's all I really got for you. I think that this is coming along great. I know that you said you didn't have a lot of time to work on the mouth stuff, so I will leave that for later. But as far as the body stuff is concerned, it's all coming along like great, you know what I mean? There's something very performative and very thespian-like about this arm movement on the mother, this screen right arm, how it kind of like flips out and goes up in places on the chest. I'm not sure if that's intentional or if that's something that you just want to clean up. But I didn't want to give any notes on it because it's kind of fun. And it kind of fits the vocal performance where she's like this proper, I don't know.
Don't speak to me with that attitude.
Anyways, this is great stuff. Keep going. I love how it's progressing. Yeah, keep an eye on the calendar and everything, but I think you're in a good spot. All right, I look forward to seeing you in class.